Lesser facts you probably didn't know about the Matrix trilogy. Welcome back to another interesting video of Top Mainstream. Over 20 years after its original release, The Matrix remains one of the most engrossing, thought-provoking pieces of action sci-fi storytelling in cinema. With a central plot that plays on cultural fears of rapidly advancing technology and a whole lot of kung fu fighting for good measure. If it's been a while since you've watched the Matrix trilogy, there's a good chance you've forgotten just how jam-packed these movies are with Easter eggs and other fascinating secrets. Here are a few hidden details you may not have noticed across all three Matrix films. Let's start the video. 10. In memory of Thomas Anderson. In the final scene of The Matrix Revolutions, the bench the Oracle sits on has a small dedication plate on it, dedicated to an extraordinary person. The plate reads, "In memory of Thomas Anderson," which of course is Neo's given name. At least the scene is presented in a positive light, as it's the only scene in the entire trilogy that features greenery and a blue sky. A deliberate visual design choice to help convey the artificiality of the Matrix. 9. Saudi Arabia. Neo finally makes it to the surface of the Earth in the final of The Matrix Revolutions, traveling to the Machine City to broker a ceasefire with his AI enemies. Of course, the planet looks unrecognizable, and you'd be hard-pressed to figure out where the Machine City is located on a map. While the film doesn't explicitly reveal this information, we know based on information from the Animatrix that the Machine City's real name is 01 and is located in Saudi Arabia's empty quarter. This, as well as Zion as the last human settlement, would imply most of the main action of the film franchise takes place in the Middle East. 8. Mobile Ave. The name of the train station Neo is stranded at the beginning of The Matrix Revolutions is called Mobile Ave and links the machine world and the Matrix. The station's name is significant, as mobile is an anagram of limbo, which is the traditional station between heaven and earth in Catholicism. And if you want to read further into things, there's an additional subtext to the station name when you consider that Keanu Reeves is dyslexic. 7. The Keymaker's biblical reference. During the scene in which the Keymaker discusses the plan for how to get Neo to the source, he mentions that the team will have to knock out 27 blocks of power, leaving them with exactly 314 seconds before the power begins to reroute. Unsurprisingly, this is yet another biblical reference, specifically the 27th book of the New Testament, Revelation, in which chapter 3, verse 14 speaks of witnessing the source of creation. In the Matrix universe, this would be the architect. 6. 19-month time frame. With the way the Matrix trilogy plays with time and reality, it's surprising to realize that there's a canonical time frame for everything. When Trinity and Cypher first speak, the Trace program has a date of 2/19/98. Near the end of The Matrix Revolutions, when Neo is seen talking on the phone, the same Trace program reads 9/18/99. This means that from the time we first meet Mr. Anderson toiling away in an office to when he saves the world, 19 months have passed. Of course, those dates only correspond to the Matrix itself, as the real world is set in the year 2199. If you are enjoying this video, then do consider to subscribe to our channel. We bring such cool and interesting videos to entertain you on a regular basis. 5. Neo runs past a television playing the Prisoner TV series. It kind of goes without saying at this point that the actual Matrix computer program is framed as prison humanity must escape from, so it's hardly surprising that the films contain relevant imagery. One such instance occurs just after Neo's first clash with Agent Smith at the subway station, as he's making a mad dash through the city to return to the real world. If you freeze the frame at the point where Neo runs past a television in one of the apartments, an episode of the classic TV series The Prisoner, which ran for one season in 1967 and dealt with a man trapped in a strange reality. In this case, a former secret agent is abducted and imprisoned in a mysterious coastal village. Another interesting connection is that both The Matrix and The Prisoner's protagonists are named after numbers, Neo, 1, and number 6, respectively. 4. Deliberate lack of color. The Wachowskis were so adamant that the Matrix be as lifeless and artificial-looking as possible that they actually worked with Oakland City officials to remove all red and blue colors from any shooting locations in the city's downtown. This meant that things like sidewalk curbs had to be painted over, and going a step further, there could be no greenery or plant life visible in the frame, so filming took place over the winter before tree leaves sprouted in the spring. 3. That Bruce Lee nose rub. The Matrix revolutionized action filmmaking, and a lot of that can be attributed to the film's blending of martial arts fight sequences with more Western-style action staples, such as extended gun battles. One of the biggest influences on the film's fight scenes, particularly the dojo brawl between Neo and Morpheus, is Bruce Lee, so much so that Neo rubs his nose with his thumb in a similar fashion as Lee used to do. No doubt a show of respect on Reeves' part to the martial arts master and the grueling effort required to train for such a role. 2. Multiple twins. One of the most interesting details in the original Matrix involves a scene during protagonist Neo's training. Taking place on a crowded street within the lifelike Matrix computer program, the scene is meant to show Neo how the Matrix works, as he is distracted by a woman in a red dress who stands out from the crowd. The Wachowskis went one step further by putting doppelgangers of every single extra in the scene, and did so without CGI. Numerous identical twins were used for the scene, which is just a crazy amount of detail to put into something that most people would never even notice. 1. Neo's questions. Before taking the red pill and freeing his mind, Neo is a man who can't help but question his reality. This is the driving force of the narrative, but did you ever notice just how many questions Neo asks? Quite a few, it turns out. In the first 45 minutes or so of The Matrix, Keanu Reeves has 80 lines, 44 of which are questions. This means that over half his dialogue is just asking people things, which averages out to roughly one question per minute. Whoa, indeed, Neo. Bonus fact: simulacra and simulation. When Neo first learns about the true nature of the Matrix, Morpheus shows him what the real world looks like and uses the expression, "Welcome to the desert of the real." Here, Morpheus is paraphrasing the writings of Jean Baudrillard's Simulacra and Simulation, a philosophical text that shows up in an earlier scene as Neo opens his copy and reveals a secret compartment inside. The book itself has a significant impact on the film, so much so that the Wachowskis gave a copy to Keanu Reeves and told him to read it as preparation before he even had a chance to read the script. So this was today's video. Make sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel, Top Mainstream. We will bring another exciting video very soon. Till then, peace out.